Gender identity is a concept that has become increasingly prominent in conversations about society, culture, and individual experience. To understand gender identity, it is important first to distinguish between two terms that are often used interchangeably, but actually refer to different aspects of who we are: sex and gender. Sex is typically assigned at birth based on observable physical characteristics, such as genitalia and chromosomes. In most societies, this assignment is binary, either male or female, though it's important to recognize that biological sex itself exists on a spectrum. Some individuals are born with differences in sex development, sometimes referred to as intersex traits, which means their bodies don't fit neatly into traditional definitions of male or female. Biological sex encompasses a range of factors, including chromosomes, XX, XY, or variations, hormone levels, internal reproductive structures, and external genitalia. Yet, despite the complexity of biology, sex is often simplified into two categories for administrative or social purposes. Gender, on the other hand, is a broader and more complex aspect of human identity. It encompasses the roles, behaviors, activities, and attributes that a given society considers appropriate for individuals based on their perceived sex. Gender is a social and cultural construct, meaning it is shaped by expectations, traditions, and norms that vary significantly from one culture to another and can change over time. For example, the colors, clothing styles, and even professions considered masculine or feminine are not universal. They are learned hérétique through cultural experience. Gender identity refers to an individual's deeply felt internal sense of their own gender. This may or may not align with the sex they were assigned at birth. For many people, gender identity is in harmony with their assigned sex. For others, there is a disconnect between the two, leading to identities such as transgender, non-binary, genderqueer, or gender fluid. A transgender person is someone whose gender identity does not match the sex they were assigned at birth, while non-binary individuals may identify as both male and female, somewhere in between, or as neither. It is vital to remember that gender identity is an intrinsic part of a person's sense of self. It is not determined by external appearance or biology alone, but by one's own understanding and experience of who they are. This is why respecting a person's stated gender identity, including their chosen name and pronouns, is an important part of affirming their dignity. Gender expression is another related concept. This refers to how individuals present their gender to the world through clothing, hairstyle, mannerisms, voice, and other forms of self-expression. Gender expression can be masculine, feminine, androgynous, or any other combination, and does not necessarily indicate a person's gender identity or their assigned sex. For example, a person assigned female at birth might express themselves in ways society typically labels as masculine, but still identify as a woman. The distinction between sex and gender is crucial for understanding the diverse ways people experience and express their identities. While sex is rooted in biology, even that is more complex and variable than often assumed. Gender, meanwhile, is about social roles, cultural expectations, and personal identity. They are interrelated but not synonymous. To further illustrate the difference, consider how gender roles have shifted over time. In some periods of history, it was considered inappropriate for women to wear pants or participate in certain professions. Today, those expectations have changed in many places, demonstrating that gender roles are not fixed, but evolve with society. What is considered masculine or feminine in one culture or era may be viewed very differently in another. Understanding gender identity also means recognizing the experiences of those whose identities have been marginalized or misunderstood. For much of history, nonconformity to gender norms has been met with stigma, discrimination, or even violence. In recent years, however, there has been a growing movement toward acceptance, inclusion, and respect for people of all gender identities. This shift is reflected in areas such as legal rights, healthcare, education, and popular culture. For many individuals, discovering and articulating their gender identity is a journey. Some people know their gender identity from a very young age, while others may take years to fully understand or express it. This process is deeply personal, and there is no single path or timeline that fits everyone. Support from family, friends, and community can play a crucial role in helping individuals feel safe and affirmed in their identities. It's also important to consider the intersection of gender identity with other aspects of identity, such as race, ethnicity, religion, and disability. Each of these elements shapes a person's experience and how they navigate the world. For example, someone who is both transgender and a person of color may face different challenges and barriers than someone who is transgender and white due to the ways different forms of discrimination can intersect and compound. Education about gender identity, sex, and gender diversity is essential for fostering understanding and respect. When individuals and communities are informed about these concepts, they are better equipped to support one another, challenge stereotypes, and create inclusive environments where everyone can thrive. This includes using inclusive language, challenging assumptions, and advocating for policies that protect the rights and dignity of people of all gender identities. In summary, sex and gender are related but distinct components of who we are. Sex refers to the biological characteristics assigned at birth, while gender is a social construct encompassing roles, expectations, and personal identity. Gender identity is the deeply held sense of being male, female, both, neither, or somewhere along the gender spectrum. By recognizing and respecting the complexity of gender identity, we can help build a more inclusive and compassionate society, one that honors the diversity of human experience and the right of every individual to define themselves. As conversations about gender continue to evolve, it is important for all of us to stay informed, empathetic, and open-minded. Every person's journey with gender identity is unique and valid, deserving of respect and understanding. Through learning and dialogue, we can move toward a world where everyone is free to express who they are, without fear or limitation.